Hi, welcome. I'm Margaret Ann Lembo, and we're here today for the guided imagery meditation. Believe it or not, we are filming live in front of a live studio audience. I love to say that, that's so fun. So happy February and happy energy for the vibration of spring that's arriving, you know, when we hit February 1st, February 2nd, and now it's February 3rd, it's a time in the wheel of life, in the cycles of our ever-moving, ever-turning wheel of life, for a place where it's a reminder that of new hope, new beginnings, optimism, because it's a cross-quarter between the winter solstice, back in December 21st, and the vernal equinox, which is the first day of spring. We're at the midpoint, right halfway. So this is the time, if we lived, for those of us here in South Florida, it's not quite as obvious, but I do see it because I'm a gardener. This is where you start to see shoots like of bulbs maybe emerging. Up north, crocuses and things like that. And here in South Florida, I notice my caladiums are popping up. So this is showing that right under the surface, something is ready to bloom. And what I'd like to do today is guide us into a nice guided imagery to help us connect with what is growing, what seeds were planted, and what's growing under the surface, whether it's from last spring and they're coming up again now this year, or so they're back about a year ago, and something that you maybe want to bring forth, manifest to this moment. For those of you that have seen the little picture on Facebook, or whether it's my own website, or where else did I put it? I can't remember. I think just on the Facebook pages. It's a picture of some beautiful, like pink flowers, like bougainvillea. And in the middle, you look through and there's a winding path. So today's imagery, we're going to start with that idea. And the flowers are this color pink right here that we have here on these orchids right here. This is the color that I would like for you to envision. If you can, make believe, use your imagination. That's the key to this particular meditation. It's a guided imagery. So pinks and greens are the key colors. So let yourself lower your eyelids and cross your legs if they're crossed, and become conscious of how the soles of your feet are connected to Mother Earth. Become aware of your breath, the in-breath and the out-breath. Be aware that when you breathe in, observe, notice how your diaphragm expands when you inhale, and how your diaphragm contracts when you exhale. Let yourself relax your legs, your calves and your shins, your knees, your thighs. On the inhalation, be aware of your calves and your shins and your knees and your thighs. And then when you exhale, let yourself just relax and release your legs, making an intention that you're going to start relaxing your body and quieting your mind. Quieting the thoughts, telling your consciousness that you're going to slow down right now, taking a break, quieting the thought forms that are circulating in your mind and your emotions, letting them relax. And as the thoughts arise, observe them and then let them float away with the intention that you're being quiet now. No thoughts, no mind, just paying attention to the breath, the rise and fall of your chest, and letting yourself relax all the muscles and all your internal organs in your torso. So when you breathe in, it's a big section of your body to relax at one time, but we can do this. As you breathe in, be aware how the oxygen is moving around your body, And when you exhale, relaxing the muscles in your back, your buttocks, your belly, your diaphragm, the solar plexus area, relax and release any tension. Letting go of worries or stress, even if it's just for this 15, 20, 30 minutes that we're going to be here today. Just a little reprieve, relaxing your physical body, being aware of your internal organs like your pancreas and your spleen, your gallbladder and your liver, even if you don't know exactly where they are, sending them love and light for all the digestive work that they do for you, helping you to integrate life. As you move your attention to your shoulders and your neck and your arms, on the inhalation, be aware of your shoulders and your neck, and you may even want to roll your shoulders back and down and make sure that your head is above your spinal cord. As you prepare to be fully relaxed and move into a peaceful experience. Breathing in and breathing out. Also being aware of how your arms are relaxing. Your hands are resting gently on your lap. Up or down is fine. And now put your attention on your face and your scalp. Be aware of how your tongue is gently touching the roof of your mouth. Just comfortably, not stressing it, not stretching it, but to create a closed circuit and a sense of very conscious awareness of yourself sitting here in peace, in a sacred space inside this beautiful angel room at the Crystal Garden here in South Florida. And for those of you that are listening and watching through Facebook or in the future the YouTube recording, let yourself just be at peace where you are in this moment with your intention. Observing the in-breath and the out-breath. And be aware of the place that's behind the center of your forehead. And use your imagination. Make believe that you can see, sense, feel, or know that you are walking down a pathway through a beautiful floral gate. There's beautiful magenta pink or hot pink flowers creating an archway, a gateway, a portal for you to step through and onto a sacred path. It's a winding earthen path. It's with earth, the soil. There's no concrete or stepping stones. It's just good old earth. And on the right side and the left side of you, you can see grass growing, the green energy of Mother Earth. And as you use your imagination and make believe that you're stepping on this pathway, let yourself know that you're also walking down a pathway that's behind the center of your forehead. If you have a favorite animal totem, you can take it with you. If you have a favorite familiar animal that you have in your household, you can make believe they're there with you too. If you want, a little companion on your journey, keeping you company. But also, your awareness is heightened as you use your imagination, keeping away any other thoughts right now. No thoughts of ordinary life, but instead of this extraordinary inner journey. And notice, imagine, or sense the vibration of the plant kingdom around you. The Davic forces, the fairies, the gnomes, the energies that help seeds and bulbs and plants grow. And as you travel this winding path that's very peaceful, and there's many beautiful vibrations of green energy around you, you may notice some new growth. Imagine or know that just below your consciousness, your own mind and heart and emotions, there's something new, something emerging within you. Or perhaps it's something that's been under your awareness, under the radar, if you will. And now it's starting to emerge, just like a bulb pushes its greenness out of the earth, or like a seedling coming up from underneath the soil, greeting the day, the sunshine, the fresh air. So my voice will be quiet for a moment, or maybe two, so you can contemplate what might be emerging for you now, ready to bloom and come forth. If you allow no thoughts, that is equally as profound as having a realization of something that you're ready to bring above the surface, to the surface of your consciousness. Realizing the power of doing nothing or being dormant underneath for a little while can allow for new spurts of growth and a stronger root system, a stronger grounding, a foundation on which to walk forth. Imagining the pathway, imagining the greenness around you. And perhaps you'll see a patch, an area that either is clear and ready for sprouts to come forth using your imagination, or perhaps it's filled with weeds and bramble and rocks. If you're observing a patch or feel like there are things in your way, use your imagination for this next little portion to take the rocks and the weeds out of the soil, which means that in your imagination, go ahead and get down on your knees. Even if it's not comfortable in real life to be on your knees in the soil, do it in this beautiful guided imagery. Putting your hands into the earth. And clearing away whatever is in the way. Clearing away what's in your beautiful patch of earth. If there's rocks, you can use it as a border for your garden of your consciousness. If there are weeds, just make a pile and pull them out and make a pile to the side, knowing that those weeds or things that are in the way brought you lessons and teachings, bringing wisdom and experience. In your imagination, notice if there are birds watching you in the garden, on this pathway. If there's any little animals nearby, note what they are. Take notice of the color of the soil. And then become aware that you're wearing a little gardener's apron. They're just this narrow apron around your waist that have pockets in them. When you put your hand inside one of the pockets, you're going to find a beautiful seed. It's a special seed that you're going to plant today, but not quite yet. Hold the seed in your hand and place it to your heart. And think of something that you really want some help with or clarity about. And infuse your intention for new growth, optimism, new hope for that particular area of life, and put it inside with your intention, put it inside the seed as you hold it to your heart. You may find that you have quite a few things that you want to put into the seed. If that's true, know that there are plenty of seeds in your pocket. So for each seed, put a thought or intention, and then take it and put it into the earth. Well, maybe about 6 to 12 inches apart, so there's room for each one to blossom and grow. It's a sunny day. You can almost feel the fresh air on your face and cheeks, and the sun shining on your back. The birds are chirping, and if you have a power animal or a little animal with you, they're nearby, frolicking, supporting you. And if you really pay attention, there's also a very special angel watching over you and hearing and knowing all the thoughts and requests, your petitions for assistance. They're listening. And they're going to help you watch over those seeds that you're gardening and putting into the soil of your consciousness. And once you've placed the seeds into the earth, be sure you cover them up. Maybe pat them down. If you want to put little popsicle stick type markers by each one with what you planted there. I'll be quiet for a moment so you can contemplate that idea. Getting little wooden sticks, those flat ones like popsicle sticks, and writing the name or some key word for what you just planted and putting it next to the seed. watering can or maybe even a hose somehow hooked up nearby. And it's important now to take the time to water these seeds. And with this, it's also that you're making it an intention that every day to cultivate and nurture, even if it's for 2 to 4 minutes, to think about each one of those seeds and visit them in your mind's eye, making a commitment to return your awareness and attention to these intentions daily, setting the stage and preparing to watch your seeds grow, watering them on a daily basis in your mind, in your heart, in your consciousness. And also watching so that no weeds take over. With each day that you return back to observe these seeds under the soil, waiting to see them come through the earth, you'll also take note if there's anything in the way that's preventing them from growing, literally and metaphorically. So imagining tomorrow, imagining the next day, imagining that you take a moment in your day. It could be while you're in your shower, it could be when you're falling asleep at night, but making a commitment to yourself to revisit the seeds that were planted, and even to take note of what's written on each one of the popsicle sticks, taking time to water, but in your mind's eye, establishing a time of day that you'll do it every day. There's also in the pocket of your gardener's apron, there's a little notebook and a pen or a pencil. Actually, mine's a pencil. And take that out, open up the little booklet, and just jot a few notes so you can remember what you put into the soil and where you planted them. So now you're writing again in your journal in your imagination, so that later you can also write literally in your journal in regular daily life. So now write in your journal that came out of your gardener's. And then knowing that even though you may have just written something quickly right now, that later on you will be inclined, or I recommend, I'll say, that you set an intention now that later you really will write something down in a journal. Or perhaps you can open up a note on your phone, or perhaps in a Word document on your computer. And with that awareness, taking a last look at the patch that you just placed all these seeds in, whether it's just one seed or many seeds, but memorizing what it looks like as you start to turn back and walking up the pathway, moving back toward the beautiful, beautiful pink flowers that are making an archway over the portal or gateway that brought you down the path. Now you're walking up the path. Walking up the path. If you came in with animals that followed you, whether it's your kitty cats or your totems, they're coming with you, bringing you back to the entrance of the pathway. You might even want to stand in that portal entryway where the beautiful, brilliant pink flowers are creating an arch, and just enjoy for a moment the feeling of the embrace of Mother Earth's bounty, beautiful pink flowers, green leaves. Acknowledging and connecting with any angels or guides that came with you on this little guided imagery. As you step back over that threshold or pathway marker, you become aware of the center of your forehead. That's in the angel room at the Crystal Garden, or wherever you're sitting right now, watching or listening online. As you become aware of your fingers and your toes, and you wiggle your fingers and toes, and wiggle your wrists and your ankles, and maybe a little stretch to bring yourself fully back, some nice breaths, knowing that you set some really good energy, some really good seeds, and remember that you made an intention to write in your journal, and think about that later somehow, some way, to establish exactly what you need, coming all the way back. Some nice breaths, being aware of the inhale and the exhale, observing how your body expands on the inhalation and contracts on the exhalation. And that completes it for today as you bring yourself all the way back, giving acknowledgement to Guardian Angels CD by Heavenly Angelic Music by R. Brian Caldwell. I want to thank you all that are watching online. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you at 1 o'clock if you want to come back. For those that are watching live, for the Gemstone Oracle.